Question number 3. As the CEO of an organization, everything looks different from you on a day-to-day basis. Every day can look different. You have your hands in all different types of pots. But what is something that is consistent that is your day-to-day job that you love? What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to 5 with T5, where we bring local business owners, community champions, and all-around amazing individuals on to learn about their story, businesses in a quick and effective way. My name is Stephen Turnbull with T5 Insurance, your host, and I'm joined by our guest today, Mr. Dominick Manfredo. If you're joining us today for the first time, we're going to start the clock with 5 rapid-fire questions for our guest in the first 5 minutes. That will slow things down and learn about our guest today. Dom, how you doing today?
Good. How are you? It's a nice snowy day here.
Beautiful snowy day. You ready to rock?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Question number 1. If you could let me start over. If you could time travel, would you go to the past and future, and why?
Oh, good question. Probably go to the past, just because I've admired some of the things that have been done in the past, and would love to go back and see how people were able to live and function without all the technology and everything. I'm interested in the day-to-day life of people and some of the ways that they became successful. And the future, I'm not too interested in.
More basic is sometimes better, right?
Yeah. I admire those that got ahead with less. So
sure,
it's pretty cool to think of.
I have a friend that had power outage last night at his house with his 2 boys, and he said it was the best time he can remember spending with them because it was intentional. Yep. And they had a candle and a board game, and it was fantastic because all the distractions were away. That cool. Makes sense.
Think about.
Question number 2. I know you're an Adirondacks guy. Got to pick one: summer or wintertime in the Adirondacks?
Oh, it's not even close for me. It's summer. Love boating, fishing, swimming, campfires. For me, it's just I do all my activities in the summer: wakeboarding, water skiing. It's not even close.
Not even close. That was an easy one for you. That was an easy one. All right. Question number 3. As the CEO of an organization, everything looks different from you on a day-to-day basis. Every day can look different. You have your hands in all different types of pots. But what is something that is consistent that is your day-to-day job that you love? First thing you think of.
Yeah, the quick decisions, right? So I like being able to make quick decisions from my point of view. It's probably one of the tougher things that I do too. Because people come to me and you need to have that ability to think critically quickly and then make it to come to a decision. But I really enjoy that and seeing it come to fruition because sometimes the quick decisions come to good things, and then sometimes you have to learn from them. So
yeah, but you learn from the past, right? They're all learning experiences. Question number 4. Share the best piece of advice that you have received and how it has influenced your decisions or perspective.
So from here at Sunset Wood, the best advice I've received is kind of it's the philosophy of nonprofits, and it was from Kevin Crosley from Art Kirkheimer, and I love his quote: "Is nonprofit is a tax status, not a business strategy." So when people think of nonprofit, they think you're not making any money, you're losing money. No. I don't have to pay taxes, but I'm mission based, and my goal is to actually make some money so that my organization can succeed in the future. So it's not all about money; it's more about mission. But you got to make money too to make it work.
Love that. Question number 5. This is probably going to be the most serious question, at least in the history of this show so far. Okay, for Dominick Manfredo. I can see the fear on your face. Don't worry, it's not that bad.
It is. It's there.
For Dominick Manfredo, what is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, wow.
Got to pick one.
Oof, that's a good one. I haven't sang karaoke in over 10 years now.
10 years. Take us back to that night, would you?
Yeah. It's probably some sort of R&B song. I don't know. That's a good one.
See?
Yeah, it has to be an R&B or a rap song that it's been like, wired into my brain and burnt in there. Like a 50 Cent song like that.
The rules are you have to know every word. You can't, you can't get up there unless you know exactly what you're doing.
A 50 Cent song from 10 years ago, or actually, I'm dating 20 years ago.
All right, Dom, that was the hot seat for 5 questions. Thank you. for being a good sport through that. Again, everybody, the guests have no idea what these questions are prior, so you did a fantastic job with that. We tried
True.
to mix it up. But Dom, let's normally on these shows and these podcasts, we start with learning about the guests. We try to do it a little different here with 5 of T5. So now that we got that out of the way, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about Sunset Wood, your journey of how you got to be the CEO there, and just the elevator speech around what you guys do.
Yeah. So Sunset Wood is a nonprofit senior living organization in the village of New Hartford, upstate New York. We have been around since the 1800s. So going back in time, that'd be an interesting time to go to 1882 when we were incorporated. Started off as a small organization, obviously grew, moved locations back in the 80s to where we are now, built on in the 2000s, and still operating to this day in the same organization. We help seniors live a high quality of life with wellness, meals, advocacy services, and help them age in place here. I came here back in 2016. My background was kind of funky. Out of college, I went and did traveling car sales and traveled the whole East Coast. Lived in Wisconsin for a bit, Charlotte for a bit, Tampa for a bit. Decided I really wanted to come home, and the nomad life wasn't for me. Came home, got a regular job an investment firm. Worked there for a bit, made really good connections. I was nothing fancy. I was in the front desk. So, investment firm, I was not anyone giving advice. I was at the front desk doing administrative work. I went and did wellness and corporate wellness and nutrition for a long time. For a while, wrote a book. And then when this opportunity came up at Sunset Wood, it was the job description was a lot of what I did already for the wellness company. Applied to it, got the job. Was lucky to have a great relationship with people on the board, and I succeeded the previous executive director in 2020. So I've been executive director and CEO of our three corporations since 2020 and January of 2020. So it was a good time to hop in and get right into the dirt of the pandemic. But I think that was great. It was a great time for me as a growing experience, and it helped me gain credibility with the people here. So if there's a silver lining to any of it, that was it for me. But
I
that's
would
the
say
elevator.
I would say looking back in the next 20, 30 years, that'll probably be a blessing for you to be thrown in the fire like that. Right. I
Seriously.
mean,
Yeah.
if you can make it through something like that, what can't you make it through?
That's kind of how we were at where we were at with it. And being a new leader and a younger leader, I mean, when I took over, I was 29 years old. And I'm dealing with a population that is over the age of 62 as the minimum age, all the way up till 97. So I had a lot of trust to gain from them, and leading them through that, and leading the staff that we have here through that, and helping make good decisions and reasonable decisions to keep them safe, but also providing them with programs to keep them healthy and in the mind and the body was essential. So, and all those people came out of it the other side and were thankful. And, I was just happy to be able to lead them through that.
What I love about this is I thought I knew you very well. We've become close over the last couple of years. I didn't know you wrote a book.
Yeah,
You just glossed right over that. Yeah, I moved to
yeah.
Tampa, moved back, wrote a book, and then whoa, back up. Tell us about this.
Yeah. So when I worked for the corporate wellness company, local, we were doing a lot of corporate wellness for some small companies, but mostly it was actually larger. It was school districts, Hamilton College, New Hartford School District, Part Technology, Carbone Auto Group. And we thought of a way that, we had to get our message out of what our philosophy was on nutrition. Me and the owner of the company, Dr. Jack Kunkel, we decided that writing a book and getting that out there to our consumers, clients, or anyone who was interested in our process was essential. So went through the whole manuscript process, and I was the writer, and he was obviously the researcher and the data person. But man, writing a book is awful, and I really don't want to do it again. It's not because of the writing part; it's because when you submit it to the editor, and so we had an editor out of New York City take a look at it, and you get ripped. Oh man, you think you can write
Really?
something? Oh, you just get annihilated. In the day of AI, I don't know if they do
Right.
that still, but oh my god, when that guy sent back the manuscript and it was red, 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 I was like, oh boy. So I was a co-author on that book. And it was for sale on Amazon locally. We gave it to clients, and it was nice, but it was just a part that I enjoyed being able to work on it. But
Yeah, it's an
if that ever happens
experience.
again, yeah, and maybe even something else. Maybe on my new career, I could write something. So
Tell us about the experience of living growing up here and then living here, and then you bopped around to a few of those big cities that you mentioned and then
yeah,
coming back. I mean, what I think we're similar age, and our circle of friends from maybe high school, college, or whatever. There people say it, and it sounds cliche, but there's a lot of people that are coming back. There's a
yep.
lot of people that are coming back to everything that we have going on in this area. What was your experience like of like tasting the big city, coming back? Did you always say, "Oh, I'm moving away and I'm never coming back"? Did you always think about coming back? What was that kind of like for you? Because with me, with a family business, it was like I knew I was in Rochester. I might as well have been in California, being in
Yeah.
Rochester.
Yep.
Came back from college, I was coming back to work in the family business, and that was it. But when you went out there, what was the mentality and what was it like coming back?
Yeah, so reason why I even started in that job was it was 2012 when I graduated college. So that was in the tail end of or kind of in the middle tail end of the recession. I remember applying to at least 60 jobs per week and not even getting a call back. And I had my bachelor degree. I had internships, nothing. There was no job. So buddy of mine, who I'm still great friends with to this day, he actually owns his own franchise out in Richfield Springs, a car dealership. He was involved in this group and going traveling, doing car sales. It's like, hey, do you want to go? I'm like, yeah. When's the next sale? He's like, starts on Sunday, and I'm like, dude, I'm graduating on Saturday. He's like, well, buddy, time to hit the road on Saturday night. So I literally walked
No
across the
kidding.
stage, went out to dinner with my dad and my sister, and I left and went to Connecticut for my first one. So it was cool. The living in those areas, I didn't get to experience it like I wanted to because I was on the road constantly.
Hmm.
It was awesome though for me to experience that big city life and the traffic and all the bad things that come with it, but also the good things that come with it and things to do, places to go. But for me, I liked what I had up here a lot more. I liked the connections I had. I liked the size of our city. I like being able to get from one side to the other. And what I call it is like you could be. It's easier to get further in Utica, New York, than you'll ever have in a Tampa or in a Charlotte.
Hmm.
Um, you got to rise in the corporate ladder there, and it's harder to get opportunities. We're both on the board of the Utica Chamber of Commerce, and I look around the room, and I've known these people even before I joined. I've known all of them through one business interaction, and I like that experience better than not running into the same person twice in some of those bigger cities. So
Sure.
um, the weather was undoubtedly better. I can't say that the weather up here beat it. And being a warm weather guy, I liked it. But the opportunities were here, and I wouldn't be who I am today or in the position, CEO, executive director, any of that, if I were somewhere else. I can almost guarantee it. I'd be on a different path.
Last thing I want to say, that was fantastic, by the way. And one side comment. I can't stand the weather here either. The fact we're recording this on a day that we just got random snowfall out of nowhere, but that is what it is. I think it allows us to appreciate those summer nights a lot more
Yes.
than maybe someone who lives in there 365. I digress. One thing I want to, before we look to wrap up, like I said, I know you personally. You got your hands in a couple different businesses. You're very entrepreneurial spirit. You're always kind of looking for the next thing to be involved. Very busy. What what would you say to somebody that is looking to create their own legacy destination of themselves through entrepreneurialism? I mean, you're doing the same thing as the CEO of this organization. And what I love watching you is I know you have a couple rental properties and you have a couple of partners in other businesses. You're always thinking about this. And what I love watching you is you using those mentalities in your everyday business with Sunset Wood too.
Yep.
I think that's so cool. It's like, how can we do this? You're not just we're turning the lights on at Sunset. Well, we're turning them off. You're taking these. So if I'm listening to this, like, man, I've always kind of wanted to do X, whatever that is. For example, let's say I've always wanted to buy a rental property or whatever. What advice would you give to someone listening that's always kind of wanted to do something like that, um,
Yeah, there's a couple.
maybe hesitant to do so? I don't know. I
Yeah,
hope that made
I
sense,
can't
but
nail it down. Yeah, no, it does. I can't nail it down to one thing because it's kind of like multifaceted. But the first thing that I always did when I wanted to get into something new was I researched it to death. I
oh
listened to
yeah,
podcasts on it every day. I read about it. I'm a research junkie. When I'm doing something new at Sunset Wood, I research, and research it more, just so that I'm well educated in it to my degree. But also on that exact notion, I only know so much, and I only know my lane, right? So building the team around you of people is undoubtedly the most important thing. Having a lawyer who knows, having an accountant who knows. If you want to get into property but you know nothing about property, getting a property manager, getting the pieces that you don't know
Mm,
together,
yeah.
because you only know what you only know, and you don't know what you don't know. So I pride myself on learning from everyone else. I try and learn as much as I can, but there's always other people that know more than me. Like my team here at Sunset Wood, our maintenance people know way more than me I ever would, and I ask them a
Right.
ton of questions every day that I
Right.
use everywhere. My chef on food, and it goes all around in finances and getting out there and doing as much as you can. And then the second thing for me is I learn from all my volunteer opportunities. So boards that I sit on, I pick everyone's brain. I say that I learn more than I think that I give. People say that I
Mm,
give, but I ask a lot of questions because I want to know. So don't be afraid to go out there and ask questions and network with people that you might not normally do to
yeah.
get you to that point.
Two things on that, and then we'll wrap up. Number one, I think the exact premise of what you're saying, never be afraid to ask, whether you're the CEO or whether you're looking to buy your first property, start your own business, whatever it is. Never be afraid to ask, because whoever you're asking, I guarantee you they were at where you were in whatever stage
Correct.
you're at, right? And I mean, with me starting a business, I've grown this incredible network of insurance agency owners across the country because we all just want to help each other. We all are doing the same type of thing. We've created that network, and like you said, may not know this in this particular lane, but know somebody else. The
Yep.
second thing, today, now more than ever, you can learn anything anywhere.
Yep.
YouTube, Chat GPT, podcast, so
Absolutely.
the opportunity is endless. Dom, I could talk to you for hours about all this stuff, so we're gonna have to wrap this puppy up. But for someone that wants to reach out to you, maybe you said something that really hit them and they want to pick your brain, what's the best way to do so, following your journey, all that good stuff?
Yeah, so it's via email, dmanfredo@sunsetwood.org if they have any questions. We're on Facebook and all that, and you catch me on there too. Add me as a friend, and try and share as much as I can. So yeah, anytime.
Awesome.
Feel free to email.
Awesome. Everybody, that's a wrap for today's episode of 5 with T5. Hope you enjoyed that engaging conversation with Mr. Dominick Manfredo. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Facebook page at T5 Insurance. Remember, the power of connection and learning from one another is what makes our community thrive. Most importantly, remember to make an impact in someone's life today, even if it's your own. This is Stephen Turnbull with T5 Insurance. We'll see you next week. Take care.